and give you kind of an idea of what's going on, and sometimes it all says itself. This one, the strong these kids are getting ready to do. Well, first, I want to say, whenever they're talking about submission and things and how you have to submit, I'm so incredibly blessed and thankful for a group of kids who got up there and they're not afraid to get on their knees and submit themselves to God, and they don't care who behind them can see them. They're such a humble and anointed group of kids, and they don't care what people say, and they just do what they need to do, and I feel like they get that from here. They have so much support here. This drama was laid on the heart of Emilee, and it came to her. We did one about Ezekiel before, about the dry bones. This is something different. It's not the same. And I could get up here and I could talk about Ezekiel 37 where he breathed the life of the dry bones, but we all know like what happened. These kids, there's a story here. There's addiction to heroin, and there's addiction to worldly things, and there's cutting, and there's things like that. But what I would like us to focus on, because all of us sitting here, I don't know that that's a struggle that you might face, but that might be something that your family might face. But there is one about, there's actually a leader, and then there's church people that are bad. There's a couple of those, because that's kind of the stressing point is they're dry, and that was the fear that I think that God put in Emilee's heart, that as church people, as church teens, she was looking out to our teens and seeing them kind of lose focus. And it reminded me of a kid that I went to school with, and I was telling the kids about it this morning. He was a kid I graduated with, and he went on to college, and he dehydrated. He went to Arizona, and he went out and he had been riding his four-wheeler throughout the desert, and he got lost from everybody, and he was driving in circles. And he was dehydrating on the inside, and he was dying, and he did not know it. And he was a half of a mile away from water. He was a half of a mile away from refreshment. But he just drove in circles, and he drove in circles, and he didn't know. And he eventually dried up from the inside, and he died. And sometimes, and this isn't me, I'm speaking solely to me, and if it speaks to you, then I thank God. But he was speaking to me, he said, so often we get to this place, God, the devil is crafty, and he uses different things to dry us up like a sponge. Like he just puts so much on the inside, and it starts to dry up, and we don't even know what's happening. We're losing momentum, and we're losing that thing that drives us to reach the outside world, to reach our kids, and to reach. He uses fear with me. He uses the busyness of ministry with me. I'm so busy that I forget his work, and I forget what I'm supposed to be doing. And these kids get scared. They've been scared, but they're forgetting. So this is a drama that was chosen and picked for them, and I hope that it speaks to you, because I have a group of Ezekiels up here that are ready to speak life if there's bones. I told them this morning, I said, no bone. Nobody wakes up and they say, I want to be dead today. It just happens. Nobody says, I want to be dry today. It happens. And the devil knows what to use, and he knows. So I hope and I pray that you would just let them speak and minister to you the way that God was ministering to her and through her and to them. Because I have a group of Ezekiels, like I said, that are ready to speak life if we just will hear and answer the call.
You have a feeling pain on the outside, and you do feel the release when you feel the blood. You feel like you're finally opening up, and it's become more of a symbolic ritual of releasing pain inside you.
Windows get smashed out, and people confront authority and those institutions directly. It shows everyone in the world that resistance to the way things are now is possible.
Just some heroin like 3 days ago. It was alright. It wasn't like, ooh, give me heroin.
I was using needles at the front line. I had like half a seat, and I have to wake up every day, remembering that I took something I can't get back. I killed 2 people.
Tired of hearing about my friends dying, going through the pain. It's like I'm almost running out of tears, like it's really hard for me to cry now over a friend that's dead. Because I've had it happen so many times. I don't know if I can take it anymore.
How about girls that had abortions and whatnot? I've never had a kid
actually going to be there in my hands and smart.
One time I thought I had AIDS.
I did some like things and it made my parents go through like a lot of, but it was like their standards were like way too high, and it's just like I just wanted to do my own thing and I wanted to be my own Christian.
Please try unto him. Hallelujah.